All right, welcome back. Who would like to do the honors of recounting last action? Actually, before I get to that, some bookkeeping. So, of course, we discussed at least in part in the chat about the OGL stuff and moving off of D&D Beyond. So this week we're going to stay on D&D Beyond. However, I owe you guys items. I figured whatever system we land on next, I'll put those items in there, and then you can take them rather than doing the work twice. So I'll do that for the next session. I'm sure you have them in your inventory in some form.
Mhm.
And so I have the descriptions in my notebook. So if you use them in any way, we'll at least have it recounted here. But that's the first thing. Probably go to Roll20, but we'll see. More details on that to come out. I think that's the only other thing that I can think of. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So like I said, who would like to do the honors? Big session tonight in a lot of ways. Leaving Westway Walk. Somebody has an interesting encounter later tonight. What would we? Who would like to lead us in this recap? Nobody.
I have plenty of detail if nobody else takes
Go
it.
for it.
Go for it.
Okay. So last session started in Westway Walk. It was the one prior that the group arrived out of the forest. And it begins with Therathari, Felix, Jara, and Oro going to the Rock Roll and Cake for some food. In the building, it's a large armored man who appears to be a member of the Myriad. Thera notices a tense waitress as she approaches the man, who clearly has an intimidating aura about him. After food, Thera heads back to the inn, while the others go to the Burning Wizard looking for some wares. An old man, Rover, greets them. There's a childlike figure in the back of the shop. An aura wandering through picks up an hourglass and turns it over, which causes time to shift for Oro. He now perceives the motion of himself normally as the rest of the room moves slowly. Quite the artifact for just laying about. Felix is hoping Rover is able to help with a transfer of enchantments. It would take 6 days to complete. Instead, Felix barters for some potions, while Jara investigates an old tome about the magical essences of living things. The group finds other artifacts worth a look, asking Rover about the Cape of Saren, some goggles that translate text, and that hourglass that Oro picked up. Felix buys a potion of strength, a health potion. Jara buys the goggles of translation and the Flux of Flora, which I think is a book about Flora.
Yeah, that was the book I was looking at.
Okay. They leave the shop as the torrential rain that had been going all day subsides, and then they go to the Thunderhammer smithy. They're greeted at the smithy by a dwarf, and Felix is kind of he disguises himself, or at least I have that you become a fictional person to get better prices.
Yes. Well, not to get better prices, but to conceal my motives.
Ah, okay. Concealed them from me, writing notes.
Good job, Felix. That means you did good.
Cheers.
Okay. So Therathari went back to the inn as everyone was doing that shopping. There in the common area, he sees a highborn woman enter, claiming a room under the name Carly. He recognizes the homily sigil on her luggage, which is a noble family, Ravencleft. Carly and Therathari seem to hit it off, talking of shared origins and their respective missions. Thera decides not to divulge much of the group's true purpose, as their time in Westway Walk is short. But he does sense the possibility of an ally in the future. Okay, so back in group's room, Therathar gets a note from Carly, basically being asked on a date. So Felix accompanies him to the Howling Spool to get clothes for the occasion. Felix also uses his alchemical magic to make Therathar smell of mahogany and gooseberries.
Even has the scent written down. I love it.
But I didn't write down what Therathari bought clothing-wise. I think he just had some like fine clothes. They're, I remember, kind of like a deeper shade, like a green,
Yep, green.
and also a ring or a necklace, one of those. Okay, and session ends. Therathari heading to the Twin Strings dance hall.
Perfect. Yeah, great. You could take your D2 inspiration for that recap. You even got the scent. I'm proud. Yeah, so this is I think the only notable thing in there that may have been left out was the city is currently under curfew. This was kind of expanded upon the previous session before last session, so 2 sessions ago. And it's been some time between, but the city is experiencing some unstable ground, let's call it, as it's built above like this hill kind of plateau almost that is being excavated for precious metals and whatnot. And there's been some cave-ins, so they're at night doing inspections. So that's what the 12 midnight curfew is. And then also you guys witnessed perhaps some very powerful enchantments over by the Magistari in the form of like this this cube of fog, which has been sequestered to this cube shape, and the smell, for the most part, kept from spreading across. This would be, I don't know if I made it explicitly clear, but this is like one of the first times, aside from, I guess, the tower from last town. Besides that, Merrill's Tower. This is one of the first, like, pretty, powerful magic enchantments that are out in the open. They tend not to happen very often. So, in any way, your characters definitely in game would have taken note of that. So I wanted to make that known as well. And then there was some strangeness with the monument that's out front of the Burning Wizard. So I think those are the only things. Either way, you've well earned your D2. And who knows, you may need it tonight.
Yeah,
various reasons.
Yeah, various reasons.
I also think that after a long rest, I believe Iris is currently out as well, trying to experience the nightlife.
Yeah. She's wanting to see what everyone else got to see during the day, so she's wandering.
Cool. All right, so you are headed to the Twin Strings Dance Hall, Therathari. I'll get to how you get there and whatnot in a second. Is everyone else down for the night? I believe we're all back in Bedposts Inn, and you're all down for the night. Is that correct?
I'm in for the night. I mean, I don't know. What time is it? Would I be like, is it sleepy time?
So Therathari's date, quote unquote, was scheduled for 11 p.m. So he would have left probably 10:30.
Okay.
I would imagine you would have gotten back with Therathari after shopping, probably around 8:30.
Did I happen to catch the opening time for the blacksmith on the way out? Like for the next morning?
Oh, he would have told you in your negotiations they open as soon as the sun rises. They're out. So anytime you want to come in the early morning, it should be ready.
Okay. Yeah, then if I'm back by 8:30, I'll stay up for a little bit,
Okay.
but I'll be in.
Sure. The reason I ask is I know you all have a point of exhaustion, but if there's anything you want to do before you go to bed, I think now would be the time to talk it out, and we'll figure it out. Otherwise, we'll go to our other PCs for the evening. So is there anything specifically?
Yeah, I forgot about the exhaustion. That'll kind of hamper me. Anything I would have done, I probably want to wait So I'll just go to sleep.
Yeah, Jar's just gonna go to sleep too.
All right. Sleep is easy. You guys are exhausted, muscles sore, bones feel heavy. Nice warm bed. Although your room is kind of a little damp, but nevertheless, you're out of the elements and sleep takes you very, very quickly. Okay. Before you go to bed, Jara,
Yep.
you take a look at your travel slip for your package you sent.
Oh yeah.
It is expected to be received the following morning
Cool.
to be delivered to the post office.
So that was at like 2-day shipping.
Yep, back in Lothros. So
Nice, nice.
it's no delays. You're good.
Nice.
Call them Amazon. Like 2-day shipping.
Yeah,
Call
you
that
get-
Prime.
Yeah, Prime. Okay. Beth Jazos, richest man in Tura.
BF Jesus.
Yeah. All right. So with Jara and Felix out of the way, we will cut over to first Iris. Iris, what time would you have left?
So I think if Felix and Therathai would have gone off to get Therathai ready for clothing shopping, what was it, around like 8-ish they probably would have left?
Yeah. They would come back around 8:30, 9 o'clock around there.
Yeah, Iris probably would also have left around 8-ish as well.
Okay. So-
Um,
Where do you want to go,
Yeah.
Iris?
so mostly because Oro is just as interested. Iris would probably head over to both the Burning Wizard and the Magistery. The general rationale here is that Iris is one, realizing that Oro didn't come back with any magical items. Two, she's trying to figure out why Oro cares about the fact that she didn't come home with magic items.
Both very
They're very mu-
interesting questions.
Very much wants to see what Oro was interested in the first place and why that has come up.
Sure. Okay.
And then also to see if there's anything that she could get as well.
All right. So you are starting at the Feldposts Inn. How would you like to make your trip to the Burning Wizard? If you want to draw it out, take a roundabout way, whatever
I
you
think
want.
she would just go directly. So she'd probably stop by from Feldposts Inn, hit Jenny's, come around the corner here past the Dawn Tower. She'll probably want to avoid the giant plume of smoke
Mm-hmm.
there and then just walk around the long way past Rock Roll and Cake, up through the Magistery and then the Burning Wizard. But she'll hit the Burning Wizard first.
Okay. So at this hour, the sun has set. It's rained all day, so the ground is still sloshy and kind of soaked. But it's no longer raining. It's a fairly nice evening, despite the days prior. And you get to see, for the first time, Westway Walk at night. There are actually street lanterns that light the streets. It's never really been expressed in my world, but a lot of times it's either torchlight or, kind of something similar. But these are like proper, kind of very nice put together street lights. They are arcanically powered, you presume, seeing as there's no flame or smoke produced from them. They just kind of glow a yellow color. But there's a beautiful nighttime atmosphere here. People are kind of out. You hear laughing, cheering. People are dressed formally, informally. It's a whole smear of people, whole spattering of life. And it's very interesting to see, very beautiful as well. And you can see as you make your way eventually to the Dawn Tower and the sort of the center square, not only is the Jovial Juggler packed, there's a line out the door, but the Dawn Tower itself, the gold kind of pyramid at the top that kind of comes up into this like gold statue-esque design at the very apex of the point. It's glowing, a faint, like dim goldish glow, probably magic as well. And you can see the clock tower, the hands are ticking, the whole face is lit up. Very beautiful, really. So worth noting, people are out dancing, drinking, having some fun. It's nice.
The nightlife is strong here.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and because it's such a like a pass-through kind of place, people from everywhere are out. All sorts of different attire, festive and non-festive. I guess you wouldn't know specifically,
Not really.
but regardless, a very eclectic group.
So it's kind of imagining it's relatively busy out in the streets. Iris just kind of wants to keep an eye out while she's walking, just in case there's anyone who seems particularly perturbed over her existence.
Sure. Yeah. Just make me an insight check, and this will kind of
Alright.
carry you through your walk.
All right, so disadvantage. That lovely. We're starting off strong here. That's a 4.
Okay. Yeah, reading the
Still
people
kinda-
around.
Still kind of tired.
Yeah, still tired, still groggy, still booting up a little bit, but no one to your knowledge seems to look at you strangely and as though, to get into some trouble. They seem to
Okay.
keep to themselves. You do notice, especially around the Dawn Tower, around the Dawn House, that area, there's a large presence of Luminous. And unlike Answood, there's no accompanying Black Cloaks. It's kind of a Luminous-only operation here.
Okay.
All right. Make me a perception check as you leave the square, heading towards Rock, Roll, and Cake.
Oh boy. That's a 6. We're doing great today.
Okay. As you turn the corner, I'll kind of draw it. So as you kind of leave from the square, because I think you said you wanted to at least pass through.
Yeah, come around
As you kind of leave past the jovial juggler,
the
Uh,
jugular.
yeah, jugular. The jovial juggler. It's kind of a tongue twister. You notice at the corner of your eye, leaving the Dawn House, because there's a door to it, is a man, bald-headed, long draping cloak that is purple with gold center rope that ties it closed, and sort of these long, exaggerated sleeves. Kind of has his hands folded in them, crossbody, and he's walking at a hurried pace in this direction. That's all you see.
Okay. Iris thinks it's curious, but Iris, I don't know if she'd particularly pursue that.
Yeah, totally fair.
If she was a bit more energetic, she might, but she's got some thoughts to deal with, and she's tired.
Absolutely. Okay, you
So
head.
keep it in mind.
Sure. You head further away, rounding this corner over by Rock, Roll, and Cake, eventually making your way down this street here. This area is swarmed with people. I think I described this area here also as having less human guard and more machinery, machines of war, at the outer walls and just inside them, which is kind of strange. But you gather that that's the way to the spires, so maybe they're heavily fortified on that area. However, the Twin Strings Dance Hall, even at this hour, has a line. People are dressed to the nines, dressed very well, very wealthy people you can kind of see. And in this situation, make me one more perception check. I will
Oh,
give
Lord.
you advantage here,
All right,
so
Iris.
it'll wash.
The straight shot. It's gonna be. Oh Jesus! There we go. 23.
Okay. Now, the reason I gave you advantage is because you see accompanying a middle-aged man and a woman, presumably married, is a metallic construct of some kind, wearing very light, like a leather tunic kind of thing, very light garments, just kind of dressed up rather than like function of any kind. But it's a construct that, in a lot of ways, resembles Oro, you, but perhaps a lot less advanced. But it is nevertheless accompanying these two rather wealthy-looking people.
Yeah, Iris, in her general lack of charisma, is going to put her plans on hold to approach the construct.
All right, so they're walking. I would say they're kind of walking this way towards Twin Strings, and you kind of meet at this perpendicular point. And so what do you do? So they're walking, the man and wife. Man's wearing a top hat, kind of has a cane, kind of that Victorian wealth look with his wife. And they're kind of locked in arms, and this presumably servant construct is short on their heels.
Okay. She'll just walk up and very much like, "Oh, good evening. Is this construct yours? I had some questions."
Oh, you speak. Are you... He's like looking around. Hello?
Oh. Yeah, in a manner of speaking, my companions are sleeping.
That's what you call them. Interesting. They let you wander about just by yourself.
Generally, yes.
You can see his wife is a little confused, and so is he. The construct behind him is emotionless, eyes facing the back of their heads, just standing there waiting for them to move. You can tell that they're mesmerized, but also like kind of worried if this is some kind of setup. They're a little bit on edge.
Mm.
But he says, "When did? Wow. What's your name?"
My name is Iris. This is Oro. And she'll gesture to Oro, who also just kind of smiles and waves.
Is Oro your servant?
Yes. I would hesitate to call her a servant. She's a project.
Forgive me. You must stay here. I have someone who would love to see this.
Of course.
And he'll whisper into his wife's ear. Do you want to make an insight check?
Yeah,
Try,
we'll see-
try
we'll
and
see-
perceive that.
Yeah, we'll see if we get anything out of that. Oh, Lord, that's going to be a... Not great in either capacity. That's a 6.
Okay. And you're choosing to do perception or insight?
Insight.
Okay. So you're inciting his sentence. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to leave to get somebody. Or people. Who knows? The only thing you clock is there was a soft giggle from the wife as he whispered in her ear. Whether that's nefarious or not, you're not sure.
Oro doesn't know social cues.
No. But the wife will turn to you and say, "Your design is love." The husband kind of wanders off while she's speaking. She's gonna like circle you, kind of like
Sure.
almost like you're a piece of meat, you know?
Sure.
That's what it's starting to feel like. Who is your creator? Who designed you?
I'm
Lovely.
not sure. I'm trying to find that out myself.
I see. And were you always this sharp?
No, this is a recent development.
And do you speak?
Oro will just wave again. Oro is relatively rudimentary. She has the ability to roam when I am unconscious, otherwise she follows me around.
I see. And you don't serve anyone?
No, I am traveling with some companions.
Right. And they are not here, right?
No, they are currently staying at Feldpost Inn.
I see.
Doxing us.
She'll turn to the servant. She says, "Rico, come here." And there's like this momentary glance towards the woman speaking these instructions, and kind of like as the head turns, the body turns. You know, and walks forward. Very, very primitive design. You can see that there's a small pack on the side, like kind of a satchel. Probably has some belongings in there of these people. And comes kind of walking towards the woman. That's enough. It stops like right next to her, kind of hands to the side. This is Rico. He's our servant, crafted by a good friend.
Hello. It's a pleasure to meet you. And Iris will just give a tiny little bow.
Rico doesn't do anything. No expression.
Ah.
She'll say to you, Rico is a bit more simple than your design, but I think does the job right. Make another perception check.
Okie doke. Straight roll?
Mhm.
Okay. So it's going to be a 17. Oh, 12. 12's fine.
Okay. So you're standing right sort of where these, like this four-way intersection. Not in the middle, kind of off to the side. And there's enough people around that nobody really cares. And you notice that the individual, the man that was with this woman before, has in the like your periphery, kind of over here. It seems as though he has a couple friends, and as he sort of is walking towards you, one of his friends comes from the side, away, like where the guards were standing, who are no longer standing there, kind of moved down. he comes and joins the other people, and they're headed in your direction. 4 of them.
Okay.
They eventually make, I guess maybe 1 or 2 more things could be said before they get there. But the wife will say, and Rico is good at taking instruction, but not good at giving instruction to himself.
Oh, I see.
And it seems that your model, is quite good at thinking on its own and acting on its own. Right?
As far as I've discovered, I'm not entirely sure why.
Right. Well, these are tough questions to grapple with for, constructs, of course. But she kind of gives like a weird, like, awkward silence. Kind of, well, would you like to talk to Rico more? I mean, he doesn't speak, but maybe you have a connection that, well, and I don't.
I can give it a look.
All right, you see now as you step forward, inspecting Rico, very, very simple, like metal exterior. It's almost like Oro, but obviously it's not hollow, and it's not necessarily equipped for battle in any way, shape, or form. But nevertheless, it's still a construct being, one you haven't seen before, or many of, in that sense. And it seems sentient enough, at least, to obey commands and act them out. Do you want to do anything specific to Rico?
Let me see what I have as far as artifice stuff goes. Let's see. Item infusions don't really do much here.
Rico, what is your prime directive?
Order 66. Kill
Yeah,
all
I'll see.
constructs.
I'll see if Rico responds to casting message.
Sure, go ahead. What do you say to Rico?
Iris will just kind of look at Rico and mentally attempt to reach out. Hi, can you hear me?
Look at message. Word. No answer. All you
Okay.
hear is faint static.
Yeah, Iris will try just sort of like more of a visual hands-on inspection, sort of like picking up the arm and like trying to sort of see exactly what the construct is made of.
Yeah, sure. You inspect. Make a investigation check. I'll give you advantage here because this is familiar grounds.
Okay, dirty 20.
Sure, yeah. Inspecting, made of some kind of lightweight alloy, not aluminum, but maybe some hybrid for a little bit more added strength. It's solid plates of metal are sort of ratcheted together or riveted together, and they're flexible enough to serve as, a joint in the ability to move. You don't see
Okay.
any complicated wiring or magical pathways for magical energy to travel through, but you do see at the center chest a slight bulge in where the tunic is, and you kind of see a faint glow.
It
As
is
though
likely a power core.
Yeah, like a rune of some kind or some kind of magical power core.
Okay. Do I get any indication of how like the power core is attached? Is it just generally an arcane battery of sorts, or is it like pumping any sort of energy through like a circulatory system?
Yeah, no, it's very simple. It's just sort of the center battery that probably needs recharging at some point. Who knows how long? But,
Okay.
Make a history check, and you'll take the full penalty here because.
All right. Well, that's either going to be a natural 20 or 17's fine. 17's fine.
Okay, 17. You do know of, and this is like a faint memory that kind of hits you when inspecting this power core. You do remember arcane batteries in your time. You remember rather large ones powering large constructs and things like that. Nothing specifically about the design or anything you remember. You just remember the concept of storing this energy, this potential magic energy, and releasing it in small enough bursts to power things large and small.
Would I remember what these batteries would run off of? Like, are they like lithium or are they like arcane in nature? Would these be like concentrated residuum batteries? Or...
Yes. So there's a range. Nothing electrical or anything like that. They are mostly magical. It's just their source varies. The most sought after powerful batteries that you remember are divine energy,
Okay.
sourcing directly from divine planes. But the most common is the distilled, kind of purified white stone into residuum. That can
Okay.
get you a decent way. But that's sort of the more bursty, short-term high power rather than long-term sustained power.
Okay. Yep. Iris, after the inspection, will just turn to the woman and go, "Curious creation. He's put together very well."
Well, our friend will thank you, as I'm sure he'll be thrilled to meet you. Dear. And you see the man returns, top hat is off. You can see his head is kind of balding. Probably why he wears the top hat. But accompanying him are 3 other human male individuals, dressed similarly, various, different color suits and different flashy rings and whatnot, all of wealth. And you notice one has a kind of gold chain tucked that you can see kind of bulges out a little bit on his shirt, his undershirt. That is probably some kind of medallion, some kind of medallion. But nevertheless, they approach you and they kind of half circle you. Very strange.
Okay.
But the husband will say, "Well, I hope you've been getting acquainted with my wife. And, of course, Rico. This is what I was talking about, guys. I mean, look at the creation. I mean, look at the intricate metalwork. You can see the arcane lines. It's brilliant. You feel around the back of you them getting a little bit closer to you.
Iris has again no concept of social cues, so that's fine. It's an inspection.
Sure. So to be clear, the man and the wife are in front of you, and the other friends are kind of half mooned around you and on the
Mhm.
sides. It's
Okay.
a loose blank. But
It's
not,
a loose circle.
yeah, it's a loose circle. But they kind of come in a little bit as he's speaking, kind of distracting you almost. He says, and you can see, self-aware. I mean, completely sentient and understanding of self. It's wonderful. And you hear a release, unsheathing of something
Oh.
from behind you.
Curious.
And then you feel on your back a prod. Almost
Is
like
this meant to be an attack roll?
this will definitely be one.
Okay. Oro is going to use the deflect attack
Okay,
reaction to invoke disadvantage.
sure.
This is brutal.
So you feel this like metal rod basically hit your exoskeleton, your metal exterior as well. And you feel a sudden burst of high electric, almost not electric, magical energy
Ooh.
radiate from that point and into the very fiber of your being.
Ooh.
So I will make this a disadvantage. Okay. All right. So that will be a 19.
That does not hit.
All right. So what actually ends up happening is the end of this. Hey.
Cats.
The end of this rod touches you, and the magical energy releases into you, but you're able to just kind of react instinctually and like move it off the center point of your back, so it didn't get the full brunt.
Okay.
It is very strong, so you will take
Mhm.
sort of this aura damage.
Okay.
like,
Sure.
It's just 1d4. It's not like a true strike. You'll take 2. So this I called it constitution damage for you.
Mhm.
But really it's a magical field that's disrupting your own.
Ooh.
You feel your body just temporarily, for even the faintest moment, just stop. It's kind of like when your heart skips a beat. Exactly what happened to you. Your magical heart.
Okay. Yeah. So that brief almost like stop and start of her system, Oro's reaction will be to pull her blade and point it at the person who tried to jab her.
Okay. We'll roll a quick initiative here. So roll for me.
Okay.
This is gonna be it, guys. Get ready for Paul to roll a new character.
Yep, I'm already looking forward to it.
My third character. It's gonna be a 10.
Okay.
This session's gonna turn into the hunt for Iris and Oro.
You're at 10.
The hunt for Steel October or whatever the fuck.
Okay. Alright. Just so you know, the wife backs away.
Okay.
The husband stands in front of her as she backs away. There
Time
are
for opportunity.
3 men behind you.
Okay.
I think hopefully the combat is simple enough to where we don't need
Need like a
a
battle
board.
map. or
But if it
anything.
gets, just be honest.
if it starts to get hectic, I'll let you know.
if you get, yeah, I don't think it will. You never know these things. All right, if he keeps doing this, I'm gonna have to put my. But all right, so okay. First up is the guy in front of you, the husband who has been talking this whole time to you, and who has gotten his friends. You can see he kind of swings one side of his coat back, and he kind of pulls out a long wooden, basically wooden rod that stops, and then there's this metal cap with these 2 sort of hook points. They're not sharp, they're dull. And you can see all along the wooden shaft are runes of some kind, and it's capped with metal at the bottom. And he pulls it from his side, and he takes a step forward and lunges at you with it. That is going to miss with an 18. So he lunges forward. You're able to kind of grab his arm and push away, and you hear this crackle, and you see this, like basically lightning, but magical lightning, this purple energy kind of crackle out in a very small field around you. Just getting close to it, you can tell that it's, when it hits you, it really hits.
Okay. Whew.
It is your turn, though. They did not roll
Okay.
very well.
This is going to be a really weird sequence of actions because of the way the Steel Defender works.
Sure.
I'm going to hold my action
Sure.
until Oro is out of harm's way. Bonus action, Iris will connect to Oro. Please go grab everyone else. And Iris will sort of wait for Oro to sort of nod and then just use her action to dash all the way back to Feldposts.
Okay. So she's going to start the process of running.
Yep. Once she is out of our way, you said the individuals surrounding me are how close about?
So they're about 10 feet behind you or around you in all directions, except for the man who just made a lunge.
Okay.
The guy who initially went to go for you, that started this whole action, has backed away.
Okay. Iris will just sort of look to everyone. I think I would stay away if I were you. And Iris is going to blow out a small little ball of fire. And because I'm resistant to fire, this doesn't matter to me as much. I'm casting Fireball centered on myself to hit everyone else.
Okay. So this is going to be
The more that I realize it, it will be more like a small spout of fire that will center around the spikes from her breastplate. And it will be more like a self-centered grenade going off rather than a fireball, which is how I'm imagining it working. So I need everyone, I guess, including me, to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Iris about to kill some people.
It's an 18 for me, which succeeds, so I'm taking quarter damage.
Only one succeeds. You got a 19.
Okay.
Your DC is what, 16?
17.
7. Yeah, so then they all fail. Except for one.
Okay.
19.
This is 8d6? Jesus Christ. 11, 15, 21, 23, 28. 30 points of fire damage to people who failed, 15 who succeeded, and 8 to me, because I think we round up.
One sec. Okay, yeah. The man behind you, you hear whisper something, and he will begin to cast Counterspell.
Oh, this motherfucker.
Fireball is what level?
Fireball is third, so if that's third, that'll just dissipate.
So as this ball starts to form and emanate around you, you hear him whisper, and this energy just voids.
The fire will begin to expand and then compress back into her system.
Yep.
Why does everyone know how to do that?
You
Because I
hear-
held my action for that. That would have been her turn.
It is his turn, and you hear him say, Now, little one. We don't want to ruin your exterior. It's beautiful." And he'll lunge forward with the prod again. Natural 19, 24.
I'm gonna shield.
Sure.
So my AC is 25. That does not hit.
All right. So this magical wall appears. His prod is unable to pass through it, and you watch as the magical energy is dispersed into the shield rather than to you. Ah, you've got tricks. This will be fun. All right, and then his companion will go to his left. He will begin to take from his pocket a small orb of some kind and begin to cast a spell on it and throw it in your direction.
Oh Lord.
And this ball will attempt to entangle you in a net. So I need you to make a dexterity save.
Oh Lord.
DC of 14 to beat.
That's a 16.
Okay. You're able to kick this orb away from you. As you do, as soon as you kick, it releases and expends itself onto the ground, kind of widening out. All right. You are able to thwart that one. All right, and then the last guy will go, and he will. What does he have? Okay. He will begin casting a spell as well. You watch as your entire. Actually, it wouldn't be big enough. I don't think he would do that then. Never mind. Okay, he's going to attempt to charm you. So need you to
Oh
make
Lord.
yes. So charm person. You're affected by charm person, I think, right?
I believe so, but we're in combat, so I believe I get to make the save with advantage.
You do have advantage. Correct. So
Alright,
you need
what
to
kind
make
of save
a
is this?
wisdom with advantage. But
That's cocked.
you also have
So exhaustion doesn't work on saving throws. It's just ability checks.
okay, then yeah.
I don't know if it particularly matters because for advantage I rolled 12.
Okay, yeah. So you are
Yep, that'll pop it.
you are charmed. You hear his voice enter your mind, and he says, we're friends. We just want to talk. That's all." Okay. That will end his turn. It is now your turn.
All right, let me see what charm person
Fail
does
saving
here.
throw. It's charmed by you until the spell ends, or your companions do anything harmful to it. You or your companion.
Okay.
The charmed
okay,
creature
and
regards you
general-
as friendly. I don't know
Okay.
that there's an
A
additional
charmed
save.
creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects. And the charmer has word.
So what do you do on your turn?
Okay, so regarded as a friendly oh Lord. Okay. What do I have to take care of this? Hmm. Oh Lord, I did not. Though definitely did not pick the right spells for a nighttime combat encounter. Fireball counterspell kind of quells that too. Okay, so assuming he's friendly, I don't generally imagine he's going to do something particularly harmful.
Yeah, this sudden feeling of long lost friend comes over.
Yeah, okay, huh. Word.
All right.
Okay. Um Yeah, I'll sheath my sword.
Sure. And you watch as they all kind of put their stuff away. So it's 1 hour. So we're kind of leaving combat. Kind of. I'll keep the initiative, but I'm not necessarily going to be turns. And if you want to do something, you can interject and let me know.
Okay.
They kind
Considering that I now think of them as friendly for an hour, Iris is probably going to be totally fine with what's going on.
Sure. Yeah. But if they do anything like to
Yeah,
you,
as soon as something sus
Yeah.
happens, that breaks.
so you see the husband says, well, now that we're all acquainted with each other, why don't you come with us and just have a little chat? Really,
Okay.
we just want to get to know you. You seem fascinating.
Weird question. How far away from the Twin Strings Dance Hall is Feldpost Inn, like distance wise?
It would probably like at a walking pace, it would probably take you 30 minutes.
Okay. I'm thinking how long it would take for a steel defender to run there.
What's the running speed?
At dash speed, it's 80 feet a turn.
If you're running there, you could probably cut off like 10 minutes.
Okay. So in about 20 minutes, Aura's gonna come bursting into the inn without Iris.
Very true. So you're now being escorted kind of in this direction towards the Magistari. You see now, as you're leaving, right before they start to take you, 2 guards come walking behind you. Excuse me, you
Hang on.
lot. We've heard there's a disturbance here. Is everything all right? And
Everything's fine.
the guy will turn. Forgive us. We just had a little bit of a misunderstanding, but everything's fine, right? Everyone kind of gives a smile. Is going to make an insight check. Make a. This is a tough rule. Is it deception or persuasion? Because you legitimately.
Considering she thinks
persuasion.
everyone's friendly,
Yeah.
it's persuasion, but
For what
she's
it's worth.
at
Yeah.
disadvantage because she's tired.
Yes.
Which is fine, because persuasion and deception are both a -1 anyway.
Okay, so he gets a 21.
That's gonna be a 9 from Iris.
You can see there's a half-cocked look at these 2 guards. When they look at you, rather, you can see that they kind of like that guy rolled high enough to persuade them or really deceive them, but they kind of give you a once over, and they back up, hands on the hilt of their sword, and they kind of just say, "Be careful, then, please. Take this elsewhere." They'll kind of turn, post up a little bit, but keep an eye on you guys as you leave.
And we're walking.
All right, so you head over in this direction. Eventually making it to the front. Actually, you would head this direction.
The side entrance of the Magistari.
The husband, top hat guy will say, "Right, we just want to have a chat. Stay here with our friends, and I will go in and fetch us a table."
Okay.
And he'll
I'll
walk-
wait for him to leave, then I'll turn to the other 3. What do these guys look like? I didn't really get a chance to ask.
So, the kind of the one that prodded you, he has a kind of handlebar, kind of strong, what's it called? Sideburns into a very strong chin strap.
Mhm.
He has red hair, fairly burly looking guy. Then there's a very dorky looking half elf, who I think I may have originally called everyone here a human. They're not. Sorry, he's the only non-human, but he's a half elf. He has these like very thin glasses that kind of come back and have that strap around the back. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
So you can like take them off.
almost
and,
like
like-
goggles in a sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
So
let him hang, like librarian style glasses.
exactly. Yeah, and so he's dorky looking. You can see he's got like a gold chain that kind of sits in his pocket, his breast pocket, which is probably for like some sort of clock or something. And then there is a fairly like run of the mill like guy in his 30s, light stubble, a kind of nice jawline, but an older face, kind of seen the world almost looking face, like weathered.
I've seen some shit type of 5
Yeah,
o'clock
like-
shadow.
Yeah, like very stoic and unmoving in emotions.
Once the top hat guy goes in, I'm gonna look over to the nerd. Hi, I'm Iris. Who are you?
My name? He'll look at his friend to see, make an insight check.
All right. Oh, that's super cocked. Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely. 3.
Okay, yeah, he looks at his friend for a moment. You don't think really think anything of it, and he just says, "Erwin, my name's Erwin. Nice to
Erwin.
meet you."
Nice to meet you. Do you know how to play Boulder Parchment Cheers?
I suppose.
Would you like to play?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
I'm gonna play around at Boulder Parchment Cheers with Erwin while I'm waiting.
Okay. The other guy is not saying a word, and then the kind of burly handlebar mustache, not handlebar mustache, excuse me, sideburn guy. He seems like second in command almost. He's waiting by the entrance that the top hat guy went through. All right, picking up. Barathari. What are you doing? So I would say, do you want to leave early and see the town, or are you gonna wait till the dead of night at 11, right before curfew, to leave? What would you do?
I don't suppose there was time to use any hit dice. What was there?
You could definitely short rest when you got back.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be ideal.
Sure. So go ahead and take your an hour short rest. So that'll take you about
Yeah.
9:30.
Let's see.
Weird question on timing. Because Iris left around like 8-ish.
Yep.
And it took her like 30 minutes to get to the dance hall.
Yeah. So if Barathari, he's taking his short rest, there will be an interruption
So
most
there,
likely.
there probably would have been some point where Oro bursts into the room without Iris.
Correct.
So that's-
Not
I
quite
guess that's-
yet, but very
Okay.
soon.
Gotcha. I'm just trying to figure out time.
So you can roll your hit dice there, Barathari.
See if D&D Beyond did it correctly. No, it did not.
Sorry,
Fantastic.
we're moving off. You know.
Okay.
The tool that shall not be named.
So I'm gonna roll all of them.
You doing
2,
well?
8, 2, 8,
Nice.
1.
You no, I don't reroll one
3.
hit dice. That's only if you level up. Sorry.
So that's gonna be 10, 20, 24 points of heal.
Definitely
I'm
feel
not sure how to
rejuvenated.
mark on here that they're all
I think you
gone.
could just heal. Oh yeah, I don't. You can.
Maybe this button is it? I don't know. Anyway, they're all gone.
Okay. Right as you check yourself in the mirror, kind of get ready your last little final touches on your outfit, maybe some pep talk. I don't know. Do you want to say a prayer to Sehanine? Do you want to do anything like that? This is. I don't know how many dates Tharathari has been on, let alone with a noble woman.
Yeah, he hasn't been on many at all. But I don't. He's not really in the religious mood. I
Totally.
think if he had any more stamina, maybe. But
Fair enough. All right, you get yourself ready, kind of buttoned up, and you go to maybe make your leave or what have
Mhm.
you. And through the door in a rushed pace is Oro. kind of wailing, saying nothing, with no iris.
Oro, strange to see you here. I thought you'd gone out. Where's Iris?
You might be muted here, Paul. I don't know.
Yeah, it might be double mute.
Yep. How the hell is Oro going to
I
describe?
thought it was intentional.
Me
Nope.
too. That's why I, was, that's why I said might be.
Yeah, yeah, Oro doesn't exactly know how to describe what the hell just happened. Who else is in the room, by the way? Is it just Therathari here, or was,
What,
was everyone else?
what is
Well,
the sleeping situation? Are we
yeah, I
in separate
don't-
rooms?
Yeah, you're just two. There's
I
two
think we
rooms.
have 2 rooms, right?
Which
So,
room does
Jara-
Iris is in? Is Iris in? Was it Thera and Iris?
Is this our? But this is our first night, right?
Yes, I think it was Thera and Felix, and
Yeah,
Jara
then
and
Jara,
Iris.
Iris.
Okay.
So, Therathara, you're getting ready. You don't know anything right at this moment, and
Oh yeah,
Oro,
you would have just heard the other door bust open and into
perhaps
Jara's.
make a perception check with
Yeah.
your disadvantage. No,
Oro
Therathara.
doesn't. Oh yeah,
Wait,
oh yeah.
so
Therathari's.
You're
they
not gonna.
aren't running into each other?
They
No,
might
you're still in
be.
your room.
This is about the
Oh,
time.
okay.
That may be a little bit too much of a coincidence. I don't know, but either way, Oro's running into the other room.
Yeah, Oro's going to burst into our room, whichever one Iris was
Jara.
sleeping in.
Yeah, with Jara.
Okay.
Jara's
Uh,
sleeping.
Jara's sleeping, yeah, so.
Yeah, Oro's going to go wake up Jara.
Shakes you awake.
But, Aura, what? Are Iris? I still can't tell you guys apart yet. Can you speak? Alright, that must be Aura. What's
Oro's gonna try to pull you up.
Well, I'm trying to sleep here, Aura. What do you want? Oh, I can't. I don't do sign language.
If only Oro spoke literally any language, since you just bought those goggles.
That's also true. I don't think I have any way to try to communicate with
Does
you.
Oro understand any languages? That's the question.
Does Oro have any can she
She can understand languages, which I mean, I guess that means Oro is capable of writing.
Well,
Yeah,
she
reading and
has
writing
a,
are different
a
skills.
very
No, that's
low
true.
intelligence. As well.
Yeah, sure. Intelligence is 4, so I guess she understands, but she can't really write it.
She's a second
Ah.
generation immigrant. That's basically.
Basically,
They speak, but they don't write. Or they understand, but they don't write. Anyway.
but does Oro know even if it's not common, is there a language
So
that
Oro-
Oro would know? Like how to write? Because I can read it.
I would say writing and understanding are different skills.
Okay. Fair.
yeah. So Oro can understand the languages that.
Time to play
Iris
20
speaks.
questions. Is she in danger?
All right. Well, Oro, can you get Iris here? Maybe she can explain to me what exactly it is that you want. I think you guys can communicate.
Oro is just going to go into the other room.
Okay. The door swings open, Therathari, as you're just about to grab your coat and leave.
Oro, a strange surprise. You are Oro, right?
Oro's going to try and grab Therathari by the wrist and start walking him out of the room.
Therathari doesn't put up a fight. Does he see the other room's door open?
Yes, wide open.
Okay.
Jara's kind of hand on his head, kind of wiping his eyes.
Therathari, what's going on with Oro? Is she malfunctioning?
What's all the commotion? I'm trying to sleep.
You and me both, Felix.
Okay, this is
Or
where
can-
Therathari stops.
Oro came busting in without Iris and is now dragging Therathari somewhere.
Oro, do you need us all? All right. So we'll just follow you then.
Oro's just gonna start walking back.
Is this an emergency?
Oro's just gonna keep walking.
All right. All right. Everyone, I guess get our stuff. Fuck.
What does
Uh,
Therathari do? interesting dilemma.
Look,
Therathori, I think we could probably handle this. Oro probably like did something to a guard and is like being held, and we just gotta bail her out. That's probably my guess.
yes, I'm sure Iris just wanted us to see something she found. Well, whatever her version of interesting is.
Iris likes to get into shenanigans. I'm
This
sure.
could, yeah, this could be any number of things.
I'm pretty sure it's just gonna involve bail money. That's my guess.
All right, well, I'll bring my coin purse. I got it.
Probably bring that anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Okay.
Therathari, yeah, you say
Um, Y'all can choose to walk with me if you like.
If we're going in the same direction as Oro is, we
Yeah, I don't
try
know.
to catch up to her.
Well, everything in this town is in that direction, isn't it?
I mean,
Anyway,
think-
I'm off.
all right. Have a
Okay.
good night.
Good luck on your date, Therathori.
All right, Therathari.
Best of luck to you as well.
All right, you say your goodbyes and then awkwardly walk kind of in the same direction for a little while and then eventually diverge.
Oh, this is awkward.
As I'm catching up to Oro, I'm going, Oro, I swear to God, if this is about that thing that you had at that maid shop, I told you we can't afford it.
Or is just gonna keep gesturing to follow.
Do any of you want to make maybe an insight? It'll be severely penalized, but try.
Yeah, I'll try. This is disadvantage and also additionally severe.
I guess I should roll a persuasion for Oro, huh?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
I rolled an 11.
Okay,
It's actually not bad.
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Oro's persuasion is 12. Or no, sorry, 8. It's -2.
Jara,
Oh, you want me to roll? What is this?
persuade. Insight.
Doesn't matter. I
Insight.
rolled a 3, so.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you don't. Oro seems serious. That's all you know.
She's probably serious about that hourglass. I'm telling you, Felix. She can't let it go.
There's an element of grumpiness here. Everyone is tired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm woken up out of my sleep, grumpy.
That's right.
I was just drifting off.
All right, Iris. You are eventually ushered in after losing 3 times in a row. You get the idea that maybe the you know.
I get the idea that the object of the game is not to play Boulder, then Parchment, then Shears.
Yes, you just got that after losing 3 times in a row. But lessons learned. Lessons
I
learned.
was going to talking to Erwin. So, I am allowed to play a different thing than Boulder on the first turn.
Ideally, that's the point. But we all are slow at learning some things, and you seem to be capable of many others. So don't beat yourself up.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right. All right. You are ushered into the Magistari. The first floor here is kind of almost like what's a good way to put this? It's like a classroom turned into like what's I'm trying to find like a good comparison in real life. It's like if you went out like after school and all the desks are like on the sides and there's like just tables in the middle. I don't know how to describe it. It's basically like it probably once was a schoolhouse of some kind, but the classrooms are made into like places to sit, study, eat, do whatever. It's kind of like a library in college without the books.
Okay.
Yeah, but essentially it's a loose collection of these rooms. And you're ushered into one. There's doors that shut them, but the door is open in this case. And you're just sitting at this long table with these sort of high-back chairs. And in there's paper on the tables and whatnot. There's coffee cups and mugs everywhere. But you're ushered in by the top hat guy and everyone else. And they kind of sit around you at the table. They say, do you drink? Eat? Anything?
I have been known to carry several lemon tarts on me at any point.
On you? As like a module? You can create these?
Yes. Iris is going to reach into the chest of holding and pull out a lemon tart. It's a little old, but I don't know if there's oxygen in there. So it should be fine.
They all look at each other, jaw on the floor, that you just pulled a chest of holding out of nowhere. Ah, I see. You just keep getting more interesting by the moment. Okay. You pull out the lemon tart. You present it. Are you giving them some, or are you just eating it?
Oh no, I'm presenting it. I don't eat.
Right. Okay. They'll take it kind of gingerly and not eat it necessarily, but thank you nonetheless. You know, from the disposition earlier, these are your friends, man. You guys are just hanging out.
We're just
having
chilling. We're
a
just
good-
vibing. It's evening. I'm awake.
Sometimes people get into little scuffles, as friends do. It's just part of the natural course. It is what it is. Okay. After about 5 or so minutes, a purple cloaked individual who's bald with a
Oh.
gold rope
Hey,
laced around enters
the dude.
the room. You can see on his face wears age. Old man, wrinkled face, darker skin, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, completely hairless from what you can tell. And he kind of comes in, hands folded over in his robe. What is it? You woke me at this. Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Oh, you were by the Dawn Tower earlier today.
I was. Where did you come about this information?
I walked by you.
You did. He kind of looks a little embarrassed in front of his friends. Right. Do you mind leaving us? Please? And they all kind of... there's a moment when the top hat guy grabs the arm of the cloak guy, whispers in his ear. Make a perception check.
Oh boy. 12.
Okay, you just hear the end of the sentence, which is, expect my payment quickly, full amount, and he'll leave. So they all leave, and you're just in here with this robed bald guy. And he
Yeah.
kind of sits down, leans back. So, what do you call yourself?
My name is Iris. Who are you?
My name is Yashi,
Yeah.
head of the
Nice
Magistari.
to meet you.
Pleasure's mine. And small conversation will begin. The rest of you are following Oro. Where will Oro be going? Right to where...
Oro
Or-
probably heads to about where she was told to run. So about the juncture of the twin strings.
Okay. You get to the juncture, the 4-way intersection, and what do you guys do? Oro has brought you here and is like, looking around.
All right, Oro, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, what are we looking for?
Let's see. What is Oro gonna do? Does she see any of the individuals who were surrounding Iris before?
Make a perception check.
Okay. I don't know what you got for perception. Okay. 6. 24.
She sees no one. She sees the guard that were originally there, but that's it.
Damn.
Felix,
Uh,
not knowing like what exactly he's looking for, is gonna start. He's gonna take out his telescope and look down each road and see if he notices anything. I don't know.
Sure, make a perception check.
Oh man, I rolled a nat 20 and a 4.
Ooh, oh no.
So
Rough.
that's a 5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, aside from the normal, roughhousing and laughter and whatever, you don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Hmm. Oro, should we go into the dance hall? Is that where Iris is? Processing. I think I broke her.
I don't know whether or not Oro has any particular means of knowing where Iris is at this point, unless Iris says anything. No, I don't think she does.
Investigation, anything, whatever you
Yeah,
want.
Iris
Is this
gonna,
where you last saw Iris? Okay. Was she in trouble? Okay. Well, that adds some. That's not good. But you don't know where she is.
Is there any mud nearby?
It rained.
Oh,
Okay, perfect. Is there a stick nearby?
Sure, you can find a stick.
Okay, Aura's gonna pick up a stick, and in the mud, she's gonna draw an iris, like a figure, and then she's gonna draw 5 other figures, and she's gonna draw arrows from all the other 5 that are converging on the single one, and she's gonna
Iris.
draw another one, and then is gonna put an arrow that's running away from the direction of that group.
Jara sneezes.
Sorry, when I'm tired, I sneeze.
Caveman style, we're painting, we're doing drawings, bitches.
So Iris got abducted by 5 people. Is that what you're saying? God damn it! Do you know where they went?
She's gonna circle herself, and then the arrow of running away.
So you went to go get
So
us.
you went that way. Do you know which way that Iris went? Do you have like some kind of homing, like tracking way to like tell where each other is? Because that'd be super convenient right about now.
Felix will start combing the ground for 5 sets of or 6 sets of footsteps, I guess, walking in the same direction.
Jara's gonna walk over to the guards and bring Aura with him.
Okay.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Have you seen anyone that looks just like this over here go somewhere else?
Like, there's a bunch of constructs. Many of the wealthy have them here. Be more specific.
Well, there was one construct that looks exactly like this one that was surrounded by 5 guys and then stolen, and that construct is of my property, and I'm trying to recover it.
I see. There was.
Was there a disturbance or anything in this area?
We did speak with individuals kind of matching this description, with multiple constructs. They went that way, but we kind of lost them once they hit the Magistari.
All right, could you maybe grab some other guards? I would like to arrest these people for abducting the construct that is mine, that was out running an errand for me.
We can't do much without proof. We can accompany you
We
in
can
one.
take you to find proof.
Yeah, does not having the construct that looks exactly like the one they stole, is that not proof?
I mean, anyone can claim something that isn't theirs. We'll go with you, and if this is indeed correct, we will whistle for more guards.
All right, that is fair. Hey, Felix, they think they went towards the Magistari. You can stop looking at the mud.
Oh, thanks. It's dark. It's hard to tell.
All right. While that's happening, Iris, you are offered
I'm having a pleasant conversation.
a nice mug of some warm tea. Do you drink this tea? Anything?
I do not require food or drink to remain operational.
I don't require this tea either, but it helps.
What is it made of?
Ah, the special blend I have that opens the mind for conversation, and he'll sip from it as well.
All right, word. He's drinking of it. I'm gonna drink it.
Okay, sure. Make a con save.
Sure.
Change the music.
That's a natural 20 for a 26 total.
All right. So you have a choice here. Let me get the music first. A little bit too happy-go-lucky. 1 second. Sorry. We'll take our break in a little. No, okay. All right. So you have a choice here. This is kind of like a way of opening your mind. The caveat here is he can see into your mind and your thoughts. You can see into his. And perhaps that will allow you to also see into your own mind. More so than you ever have before.
Yeah, we're doing that. We're cranking that shit.
Okay. The counter to that is you just shield it off and then you're normal.
As a general idea, she thinks this guy is also a friend, so if there is a weird effect here, she doesn't think there's going to be anything bad going on. So she's
Sure.
going to let it happen.
Okay. Yeah. The charmed is, and it's like 45, 40-ish minutes into the charm here, all in all. This has not been a very long or fast process here. However, Yashi will say, lovely, isn't it?
It's different.
Different is good. I'll take it as a compliment, I guess. But you fascinate me. Soon as, well, my friends told me of your design, I was curious, I must admit.
I don't normally see other constructs, so it's weird when I see them around.
It can be a bit concerning seeing your ilk in various capacities and in various treatments. I assure you at the Magistari and my compatriots and I, we have the utmost respect for constructs and beings not made of flesh, such as yourself. I hope you
Oh.
find yourself in good company here.
Of course, I appreciate that.
I must ask, you are of peculiar design, and one that, well, putting it frankly, is quite above anything I've seen. Do you know the last time, maybe last thing you remember, where you were created, who your master was? Anything?
My earliest memorial recollections are awakening in a ruin north of here.
You feel his eyes, as his eyes kind of close, narrow towards you. Another consciousness enter your consciousness, as though sharing the same space, pulling memories, like indexing almost.
Iris will bring up the memory of waking up in that like dig site, grabbing all of the shit that she knows is hers, but she's not sure why, and then bolting.
Okay. Your memory takes you back to a frost-covered landscape in this subterranean cavern. Ice around you, frigid, frozen air. You can see translucent nature of like this ice walls around you, and you can hear shouting of men in common, the banging of picks on ice. You can see people excavating large sheets of ice out of this cavern. And you see in front of you, for a brief moment, before you are then shut down once more and your vision goes black to the next memory, a very heavily bearded man, thick brown beard, long, wearing all sorts of furs on him to protect him from the extreme cold here. You see him peer into your sort of eyes. Hey, I think this thing's on here. And you can see a couple other people kind of come and circle and kind of inspect you. And then your vision goes blank. And eventually you wake up. We'll call it wake up. There's intermixed, very faint splotches of memory. Traveling in a caravan. The weather becoming more and more temperate, eventually warm, and then circling into Q when Q finally gets you. And Yashi sits back, and you can see him writing something down. And when you came forth from this tomb you were in, do you remember anything before then? Maybe how you got there? Who put you
don't
there?
remember much. I know prior to that, my last known consciousness was a few thousand years ago.
Okay. This is a mechanic I want to try out. We're going to see
Oh,
if
Lord.
it works.
Oh, Lord.
You can choose to make a history check here. The DC will be fairly high now that you're under the effect of this potion, kind of. It'll be a little lower. If you fail the check, there may be a unfortunate side effect of delving deep into your consciousness in areas you haven't yet explored. But if you do pass, you'll find some potentially juicy information.
Yeah, fuck it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's do this shit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
All right. Okay, so it's either going to be a 10 or a 7. I'm going to use my luck stone,
Yeah, go ahead.
which still doesn't help me much, but that still gets me a 12.
Okay. You reach into your mind as best as you can, as far back as you can remember. And for a brief moment, there's this one single memory that you pull from. And it's of first a tranquil memory. It's calm, it's peaceful. You're in this darkened chamber by yourself. No real light source, but a very faint lantern in the far reach of the room. You're in maybe an 8 by 10 room, and in one corner there's a faint glow, a faint light green glow of some arcane lamp. And out of this tranquility comes a shift of energy that you feel, and the ground and the room start to shake violently. Things fall off the shelves around you. You're in some kind of closet, some workshop closet, perhaps. You hear metal hit stone. You hear books, shelves fall through. You hear panic outside the room you're in. And you're unable to move, completely paralyzed. And violent shaking. Cracks begin to form, like snakes slithering their way up the wall. The floor itself starts to crack. You hear shouting, more shouting. Eventually collapsing. The ceiling above you falls in, and you are jolted out of this nightmare memory, taking
Oh.
36 psychic damage.
Woo!
Oof.
As this dark liquid begins to pour from your nose cavity, you have witnessed something that you have purposefully, perhaps, buried.
Ow.
I think that's enough for now. While that's happening, you go eventually, the rest of you, aside from Therathari, which we'll get to in a second, make your way to the Magistari with the two guards. They kind of had their hands on the ends of their swords. All right, let us knock, handle this matter officially, and if things happen, if any of us were to fall, you signal for more guards. Understood.
All right,
Understood.
but just know that if they say they don't have her, they're probably lying. Like, push harder.
Let me do my job. Let's keep things civil first. We don't want to commit any more crimes today. Retaliation is not an option here. If there seems to be probable cause, we will conduct this investigation. I ask for your cooperation. Do I have it?
Of course. Yes, you do.
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
You? Looks at Oro.
Or is just gonna nod.
Right. Doesn't speak, of course. Ready when you are. Let's do it. And they... Excuse me. Luminous. Official business of the city. Please, open at once. Sergeant. Like an awkward silence. Kind of looks at you guys. Knocks again. Please, I don't want to force my way in. As he's speaking, the door swings open, and there is a man standing there, red-haired, kind of got rough spikes up here. Not a mohawk or anything like that. He has like a full head of hair, but it's like spiked in the front, thick sideburns coming into a chin strap. Hi, what's the problem here? He looks at you guys, the guard.
Oh, I thought you were going to do your job.
Yeah, this
No.
is your.
No. There's an awkward silence.
Oro didn't get. I know Oro probably didn't get too close of a look at the people who were attacking Iris. Does this guy look familiar?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Oh Lord. Oro doesn't know what law is. She's gonna go up and she's gonna try to punch him in the face.
Oh God.
All right, you take a step forward. One of the guards is going to immediately cut your path off and stop you. Now. Civil.
Oh, Aura, do you recognize this man? Or else just let them do their job. Or, excuse me, sir, my automaton recognizes this man as one of the people that has abducted the other one.
So you stand accused of abduction of a construct property of this gentleman here. May we come in and search the premises? Yeah, I don't think this is a problem. Yeah, come on in, please. He opens the door. Right this way. And you follow the guards that just ushered you in as well. Be careful. Don't touch anything expensive, please. This place is old, and we like to preserve its nature. And he'll lead you in. You can see in this sort of buffer room, sitting on these chairs in a haphazard way, you see the man with the cap, who the hat is now off. The cane is on the table in front. He's got his foot up, picking his fingernails with his knife. You can see his wife is sitting in the corner, kind of like thumbing through some kind of notebook she has. And then the half-elf is diligently reading and taking notes, kind of the nerd of the group, while this guy ushers you in. And then you can see they're sitting in this buffer room, right in the hallway. There's like a hallway in the middle of the buffer room, like the middle wall, back wall. And you can see a bunch of doorways that kind of jut off of it. One of them is open, the rest are closed. The guard says, "Right, we are looking for... what's the description?"
Essentially an construct that looks exactly like this one here.
Does this sound familiar? You've been charged of abduction, and you all, accordingly, helping this crime happen? Perhaps directly a part of it? Do you reject this accusation? The top hat guy stands up, puts his hat on. Excuse me, pardon me. I think there's been a misunderstanding. We have this construct, but I assure you it was of its own free will, and no harm or anything has become of it. We can take you right immediately there. We refute abduction. We just invited the creature inside for a chat. Not often you see sentient constructs walking about. I think we can agree. What are you guys doing with that answer?
I'll let
take us to her then. Yeah.
take us to Iris, and I'll let her explain the situation then.
Yeah, right away. Please, follow me, and he'll walk down that back hallway, and immediately to the left room, door is open, and there you see Iris, who has just wiped away this like fluid from her nose, talking with this old man in these robes, completely unharmed, unchained, sipping tea, something you haven't seen Iris do before. And the old man says, "Who do we have here? I wasn't expecting."
Hi.
Iris, are you okay?
My head hurts, but I'm fine.
Did these men do anything to you to take you against your will? What? Oro came running in us and said you'd been kidnapped or taken.
Oh, we had a misunderstanding earlier, but there was a discussion, and now we're here.
You can see the guy at the top hat says, "See? Amicable."
Can I insight
Iris or the guy?
Iris?
Sure.
This is at disadvantage, right?
Yep, Iris persuasion.
Oh, lovely. That's going to be a dirty. That's going to be a 0.
Okay.
I rolled double 5, so that is a 7.
That's all right. Iris got a natural 1.
Yeah, so there's no evidence, but Iris's words weren't very reassuring. I mean, she's not held hostage.
I don't want to metagame this. I have a dispel magic I could do if I think she's charmed, but was that enough?
No, I mean, the differential, like a 6-point differential already on the very low scale.
Oh, it's a 7-point differential. She got a 0.
Yeah, I got a 0 technically.
Iris is a weird creature. My cat is fighting me. Unbelievable. He wants to play. Iris is a weird creature. It's tough to know exactly what happened. What you know is she's not currently under stress, and there's no real damage. I mean, this is a true Jara play. Would Jara actually think there's something afoot here? Knowing Iris, knowing what she usually gets into, is it unreasonable that there was a legitimate misunderstanding?
The thing that's worrying Jara is the fact that Oro came running in to get them. This isn't out of character for Iris to do. She would totally go have a conversation with some strangers, but the fact that Oro felt the need, or that Iris told Oro to come get us, that's the thing that's gnawing at Jara's mind.
Also the fact that we were in this exact situation like 3 days ago. Game time.
Okay, so if that's the case, feel free.
All right, and then
If that's a legitimate thing that you would do.
I guess to be safe, I'll use my literal last spell slot because I
Well,
haven't had a
okay.
long rest yet.
This is a verbal component, correct?
Let me look. What is
Spell.
dispel magic? Is verbal somatic.
All right, as you begin to verbalize the spell, the
I'm
guard.
gonna go. Well, no. Before I do it,
Sure.
I'm gonna go. Garb, would it be okay if I just cast a quick dispel magic incantation to make sure she hasn't been altered in any way?
What are your reasons to cast such a spell?
Just to ensure that she's safe and nothing foul has been placed upon her.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Be better. Persuade. Okay. It's a chance. I got a 12.
Okay.
Jared, while
Yep.
this is going on, if it's okay, I'd like to make an Arcana check to see if, as a backup, Felix can remember any way to break this charm non-magically.
That would require you to know she's charmed, though.
But I guess Jara has vocalized that he thinks that something is up with Iris, that it's possible.
So, are you
Right.
making an Arcana check to figure out what that may be?
Well, I would assume that it's some sort of charm, right? That's what a charm is. Like anything that might be affecting her would technically fall into the category of a charm, right?
Correct, but there are various levels of charm, so you can roll to see what it might be, and then that might give you a path of how to fix it.
Sure.
So, go ahead.
That one didn't matter.
Oh no.
She's under a charm spell, or she's Iris. Who fucking knows? Could be the T. Okay, or the exhaustion. You're all exhausted. Who knows? Okay, so the guard will say, after inciting you. All right.
I rolled a 12.
Iris, is it? Stand in this corner here. We'll center the magical spell here, so we don't affect
Sure.
anything else.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm going to cast a quick dispel magic on you just to make sure that you weren't tampered with in any way.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm going to choose one creature, which I guess would be Iris, and any spell of 3rd level or lower ends. If it's 4th level or higher, I have to make an ability check.
Nope. It is gone. So, Iris, you no longer feel the warm feelings of friendship towards the people, at least the top hat guy who you can see in the room. However, Yashi, doesn't seem to be a threat to you. You don't recall him ever being... It's almost like you've woken up from like a dream, and in that dream, you almost cast Fireball and got prodded.
Ow. My head hurts.
Iris, are you okay?
I'm fine now. The individual in the top hat cast a charm on me, but aside from that, I'm feeling okay.
I assure you, I cast a charm to... She attacked us.
My recollection is that you and your compatriots surrounded me and attempted to cattle prod me.
I
At
disagree.
which point I attempted to defend myself, and you dispelled my fireball.
What happened was, you bumped into me and my wife, started questioning our construct. Rudely, we asked you to step away, and... Excuse me. Politely, we asked you to step away. You did so, ignored us rudely, and we felt threatened, so I called my friends for backup. Upon this call of backup, you decided to try and cast a fireball to assert dominance of some
I
kind.
recall we had a pleasant conversation with
Right,
the servant matron.
And so if she was such a problem to you, you decided to charm her and get cozy with her up in your place of residence. That doesn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't you go get the guards? This
We
was an
did,
issue.
don't you recall? And the guards... Oh, he failed. You watch as the guard's eyes go wide for a second, and then they, at a last effort, he tried to charm the guard.
Oh no.
That's it. You're coming with us. And the top hat
Wait,
guy.
What is he talking about?
The top hat guy.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, no. Yashi will just stand in the corner, or not in the corner. He'll push his chair out and stand, not say anything. And-
Iris is gonna look over to Yashi. I'm sorry about them. This one was particularly rude to me earlier.
By all means. And the guard will begin to cuff everyone in the other room. They don't put up a fight or anything like that, which may seem strange to you, but they don't put up any fight. And they are rounded in that other room with the other guard, and the main one is with you guys. All right, we're going to take them to the hold, but is there anything else you need here?
Iris, are you okay? Is anything else?
Do you mind giving us a recount of what happened, official statement?
Sure. And Iris will proceed to describe her version of the events.
And this old man here, he is unrelated to this? Related to this?
As far as I'm aware, no. I saw him walk away from the Dawn Tower earlier, and I suppose under the charm, the individual in the top hat suggested that Yashi was friends with them, but I have no knowledge of whether or not that's true.
Okay. He did no harm to you.
No, we had tea and a pleasant conversation.
What a weird night. I'm going to corroborate the story with him. Don't leave until I'm done. All right, so he'll do that, corroborate it. The story he'll come back with is, Yashi says these individuals have worked for him in the past and have often brought him interesting artifacts, magical things to discover, whatever, research, boring stuff above my head. Apparently, he was not asking for you specifically. He was just brought to you, didn't know how. You seemed friendly. They walked in with you. He had no reason to assume any harm came of you prior to you entering his chambers. Does this sound reasonable to you?
Relatively reasonable to me, yes.
All right, so he is absolved. The rest of you who have helped us catch these criminals, if they are found guilty, will receive a small reward. But I will say, and this is just some advice, just be careful where you leave your construct. All right.
I appreciate the advice and your hard work tonight.
Glad it didn't come to blows. So get on with your night, and
Me as well. I wouldn't have been able to handle that.
I wish you all well. Yashi will grab you for 1 second, Iris, before you leave.
Sure.
While
Sure.
this connection is still open, because it is non-magical.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an interesting song. In your mind, you will hear, if you want more answers, come find me.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right. And you all leave the Magistari as quickly as you arrived, and as strangely as you arrived. You see a kind of a wagon, a jail wagon comes by, or skirts by, and they're being escorted in the back of the wagon. These 5 people. All right. What do you guys do now?
Well, Iris,
are you okay? First off, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
My head hurts. But
Alright.
aside from that, I'm okay.
I'm
Aura
too-
wanted
I'm
to
too
go into
tired
the-
for this shit.
Aura wanted to go to the Burning Wizard to try and buy that hourglass, so we were going to do that, and then I ran into those individuals with a construct, and
Well, I
I
think
tried to
you
strike up a
should.
conversation.
I think you should not do that and just go back to the room now.
That's fine. We can do more shopping tomorrow, I guess.
yeah, and maybe tomorrow we can all go together and tell him that we got the Magistari arrested, and maybe he'll give us a discount.
Oh, that
Oh.
is a good point. He did
This-
kind of hate them.
Does,
Yeah.
does the proprietor of the Burning Wizard dislike the Magistari?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had a real problem with them.
Oh. I suppose we can use that to our advantage tomorrow.
Yeah, and just something to keep in mind, both you and Oro, is that you are unique around here. Like, we don't usually see people like you. So that may mean that some people may try to take advantage of you. So definitely be a little bit more careful, especially if you're alone.
Okay. Is it easy to read people like that?
For some,
All right. I assume you're heading back to the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. We
Ow.
will. Yep.
Iris is gonna walk back, and the last thing she says is to walk back. I suppose this means I should start working on giving Oro speech capabilities.
That would be awesome if that eventually comes to be.
I'll work on that when I'm not tired.
All right. With that, we'll take our 5-minute break, and then we'll come back with Therathari's big date.
Sounds good.
Lots
Hey.
happened
Boy,
already.
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
Got Jara.
Continue the recording. Therathari, you have made your way through the heart of Westway Walk, following your steps towards the Howling Spool, then down towards the Smithy, and cutting over to the Twin Strings Dance Hall. At this time, you would have missed your friends. You probably would. I mean, I'll let you choose. Do you want to explore Westway Walk before you get to the dance hall? Because you will get there well before 11, and your guest arrives, or your date arrives. What would Therathari do?
Therathari would wander the streets if they seemed like not too inhospitable.
Oh, it's lively. It's a beautiful, as I described before. It's lit, well lit in almost every area. There's people out. It's not really sketchy. It's nice. It's actually a nice place to live. All things.
All right. Then I guess he'll loop down the Broad Street billets.
Oh, you want to go to the bullet? Okay. All right. I will say the only thing worth noting before you get there, really, is at this sort of intersection, this 3 intersection here, there is a section of ground that has been roped off. It's maybe 10 feet wide. It's not a circle, but it's circular. It looks like a cave-in. Part of a building has collapsed in as well. And it's roped off fairly wide so that you can't necessarily see down. But it is a cave-in, true cave-in. You see that right outside the blaze.
Is there anyone like around that perimeter, or
You're talking about guard?
just anybody?
But yeah, there's people walking up and down the street. They don't seem to pay mind to it.
Yeah, no one pays mind to it. All right, so Therathar will also not pay mind to it.
All right. You can see as you get closer and kind of round the corner there are signs explicitly stating like no soliciting, no trespassing, official property of the city of Westway Walk, etc., etc. So it's like very clearly says don't go here.
Yep.
But there's no guard. So, and I mean, I guess they figured it's a sinkhole. Enter at your own risk, you know. But yeah, so you
Yeah,
are-
so I suppose he'll take the north
yeah.
path around.
So this part of the city is sort of the upper crust. The houses here are made of a little bit nicer materials, mostly brick, nicer, darker wood. The roofs are more sloped. You know, general construction is a lot nicer than, you know, sort of entering into the city from where you came. It also offers the better view here. This is it's not really well depicted. It's kind of hard to do that. But this whole sort of Westway Walk is kind of on a diagonal. It kind of slopes up, even though it's all raised on this like plateau. And the Sanctity Square and the Broad Street Blaze, they're some of the highest points in the city, offering you the widest view of the landscape outside. You can see the reds. You can see the distant mountains. Beautiful, quite frankly. And you can see that it's a lot better lit than other parts, even though everything's relatively lit. A little bit of guard here and there. But in general, it's a nice place, upper crust, live here. If going up towards Sanctity Square, this is where the big kind of manor houses are located. That's like the true wealthiest of the wealthy. You can see in the distance, the outer fence is very, very well constructed and fortified. There are like these, actually, would Therathari know? Yeah, I think you would. They're essentially cannons on this side of the wall. Primitive versions of cannons, not quite as advanced as cannons, during the Revolutionary War, for example. However, there are cannons using black powder, shoot distance, whatever, and there are battlements and things like that. So this area is well protected. And so you're curving up into the Broad Street Blaze. This is like, well, first of all, before I continue, do you want to do anything else while you're looking? Taking the sights in?
He's keeping an eye out for like a street cart or some not exactly a merchant, but someone with wares.
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's the businesses are in the Blaze, but like you can find a peddler who's trying to peddle some goods if you'd like. Good evening.
Yeah, he's not looking for anything in particular.
fair
just
enough.
just kind of observing. Like
Sure.
if they exist, he wants to.
Yeah. You can see people here sell flowers mostly. Like bouquets, kind of one-off flowers. They also sell. There's carts of like alcohol, like wine, nicer sort of whiskeys, like barrel alcohol, and then there's occasionally some people who sell like meats and like kind of traveling, like not nicer than like a hot dog stand, but it's geared towards the upper crust people kind of as they're going. What's interesting is there seems to be a really big competition in like ties and like handkerchiefs, scarves, like outerwear, fancy outerwear, fancy hats. There's a ton of people. It's like when you go to Chinatown and there's like a million people selling like cologne and perfume. That's basically what this is like. That's like the most abundant merchant in this part of Westway Walk.
Okay. He's not going to engage any of them.
Sure.
Just keep walking.
Okay, and then the Broad Street Blaze, this is like the Saks Fifth Avenue, the super fancy clothes, very expensive restaurants. It's this part is geared towards the rich, but you can get some very nice things here. There's a magic shop as well, high-end magic shop. It's not I'm blanking. It's not Gilmore's, but it's perhaps a competing brand. But yeah, that's what you see here. Do you want to stop at any of these?
He's not going to stop at any of them.
Sure. Okay. Well, that's sort of your tour. I will say the last thing about the Blaze is the walkway is made of a really nice cobblestone intermixed like different colors of the gray, the gray coloration, slate almost. And then there's a portion right when you enter here and exit here or vice versa. There's like this nice sort of column arch with flowers and sort of decorations. And then intermixed between kind of hanging between things are like tea lights, string lights. Like a really nice area. It's really pretty.
Okay, and then next would be down toward Dirty Bird.
Nice. Yeah, this is where the working class lives. So, three people home, three family homes, like kind of joint, small places, not run down or shanty, but modest for sure. People here are a little bit rougher looking, but nothing to take note of too much. You can kind of see the gradient. There's not really a gradient. It just starts and stops. That's the wealth stops. And then it's kind of the common folk.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be all of his exploring.
Okay. Let's see. I guess when you would get to here, you could see down the sort of plateau, the ridge there. You can see a massive hole in the ground that is a cave-in as well. You can see mining equipment of all kinds, like large cranes, that kind of stuff. This area is definitely for mining and excavation. and it's the entrance to the underbelly of Westway Walk, which you've not seen any bit of. There's no entrance other than the ones that have been fallen in through. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Unless there's anything that ends up happening on this walk, I'm good to shortcut.
Okay. My cat is in the worst position. He's underneath my monitor, in between my desk and my monitor, right where my mouse is, so I can't move. Okay. So, with that, eventually, you make your way to the dance hall. The other group, are you guys just going straight home and to sleep?
Yeah.
Yep.
Get your long rests in, finally.
Yep.
All right. Any small talk on the way, or are you just tired and grumpy?
No, I mean I would have just what I said to Iris before is the only like important
Yeah, we would have had
thing that I wanted to
we would
say.
have had the small talk on
Okay.
the way.
Cool. All right. So, Therathari, 11 p.m., the herd starts to thin. Definitely. People are getting home before curfew. There are still a few more brave souls out and about, but you included. But far less people. And you can tell as you're walking, the guards kind of give you a once-over just to make sure you're not out doing something stupid, and so they can kind of visually recognize you and clock you in case you're out after.
And when is the curfew?
Midnight.
Okay.
All right. So you enter the dance hall.
Yep.
All right. So the exterior is made of a nice brick on the base, and it has very gaudy and like interestingly painted pink wood that make the exterior. This like show of just, gaudiness and fun and, jubilance, all that kind of stuff. All right, so you walk in. There's no line anymore, and you can see there's this giant. So there's no real building, but the way this actually is this is a tent. Okay, there's no
Okay.
building asset. So this whole thing out here is a giant tented roof with like legitimate wall exterior, but the top is like this tent, and then this main building is obviously wood and brick. But so you enter into the main building. You can see there's a hostess standing at the table right when you enter. And looking past her, you can see down a vast dining room. There's 3 bars. There's one on the right, back, and left. So tons of drink and food and all that fun stuff. And then immediately you can hear the loud sound of a live band playing. There's a fiddle going, a flutist. People are dancing. You can hear them tapping their feet on the dance floor, which is presumably under this canopy. It's a live atmosphere. The interior is rather dim, but you can see where there are bits of light. You can see all sorts of people dressed to the nines, similar to how you are. You can also see that it's decorated fairly modestly. The outside is way gaudier than the inside is. It's very purpose-built. But with that, I mean, it's still busy, even at this hour. Far less than it would be otherwise. But what do you do?
He's gonna try to find a rhythm as he moves along the crowd.
Sure. So you're going past the hostess? Are you going to say anything to her?
Thurthar will give her a look, and if she appears to want his attention,
Nope.
he'll go over.
Nope, she doesn't
Okay.
care.
Yep,
Okay.
So he doesn't confront her.
All right, so you enter into the actual hall here, and you see, as I described, these 3 bars, chairs, and stools, and everything in the middle. People talking to each other, laughing. All turned. Some of them turned, watching the band in the other room. And you kind of dance your way through. Kind of, where are you going? To the bar? Are you going sit somewhere?
Kind of like he did with the town. He's just canvassing, and this time he's got his eye out for Carly.
All right, make a perception check.
Is it checks or saving
Check.
throws?
It's
for
checks that have
disadvantage?
disadvantage.
Alright. Oh wow. 9.
Okay. Scanning around the room, you don't see anyone that looks like Carly, matches her features. You don't see any guard or anything like that if she would have gone with them. Although you get the idea she probably wouldn't. But regardless, you don't see Carly anywhere in this room, at least. The dance floor may be a different story, but the dining area is clear.
Yeah, so he's gonna kind of shake himself awake a little bit, if
Okay.
if he can. He will approach the bar and signal for a bartender.
All right, it's still busy. So one eventually comes to you. It's a very beautiful looking human woman. She's in her early 30s, probably. You can see one side of her face has this kind of tribalistic tattoo, almost some kind. Her head is kind of shaven around, but she has the top long and the back long in a ponytail. She introduces herself. What's going on, sugar? My name's Triss. What can I get you to drink tonight?
Chris, I need something that can pick up my spirits.
Oh, yeah. Down in the doldrums, are you?
No, just nearing exhaustion, that's all.
Aren't we all? Well, you want something hard or looking to ease your way into the night?
Well, whatever you think can give me a boost here.
All right. I got you hooked up. She'll take out like a whiskey glass, pour 3 or 4 different dark liquors into it or concoctions of some kind. Syrup, puts an orange twist in there, kind of rubs it on the rim, gives it to you. Yeah, that should do you. Keep the tab open for you.
May as well.
What's the name?
Sarathari.
Ah, beautiful. Elvin?
Half.
And she'll write it down on the pad. Here's your voucher. I'll be happy to help you out tonight. I hope you find yourself in a little better spirits.
With that, he'll take a drink.
Okay. It's strong. Basically entirely alcohol. Very strong.
Yeah, he'll grimace, but hopefully feel some of the liquid courage.
Yeah, if you keep down it, you definitely will.
Okay, drink in hand, he'll head towards the main dance hall.
Okay. All right. So you turn to the canopy room. You see it is literally a wood floor at this point, which is scuffed and all sorts of scratches from people dancing. But you see in the far back, there's a raised platform, a stage where a larger band than you'd anticipate. There's full percussion, there's strings, there's woodwinds, there's brass instruments. Like it's a full, not orchestra, but a full band, and they're playing all sorts of music, slow, fast, medium songs, like medium pace, and people are out having the time of their lives, dancing like there's no tomorrow. You can see it's not like one of those school dances where there's huddles of people. People are dancing with strangers. They're throwing each other into other people's arms. It's like a whole event.
Okay. Zarathar is gonna make his way around the outside, see if he can find Carly.
Sure. Making your way around, you eventually run into a dwarven man who looks a little bit, awkward, kind of too, on the outside. Kind of looks at you, recognizes maybe someone who's displaced socially here a little bit. He's reading between the lines a little. And he comes up to you. Yeah, not much of a dancer either. But, hoping tonight's my night.
And what is it you're hoping for?
What do they usually say? Like, love at first sight, yeah, first dance. Travel off into the sunset, right?
If the sun could yet set tonight, I'm sure you would.
Well, metaphorically speaking, I mean. That's just what I've read.
And are you from here?
Born and raised.
I
haven't seen you here before. Are you new?
Just passing through.
Most people do. Well, wish me luck. And he'll cheers you. You could see he cheers you with like this glass. As soon as he raises it, you get a whiff. It's just straight apple juice. And he'll cheers you and kind of give you a nod. Good luck. And he'll run in, awkwardly huddle in there, trying to find somebody to dance with. Someone in here is more awkward than Therathari. Yes.
Yeah, well, at least he's dancing.
Well, air quotes on
So-
that.
Has Therathari canvassed the place by now?
Yeah, so you make your way on the outside where you started. Carly is not in sight. You kind of get the feeling the way the atmosphere is going, it's getting closer and closer to 11. Maybe a little past 11. She may be fashionably late. Not sure. But it's not to the point where you're worried about getting stood up. Not yet.
Okay. He's definitely not gonna start dancing by himself. So he'll go back into the main building.
Okay.
And he'll find a seat at a table for two if they are open, and if not, go to the hostess.
There's not a table for two open. However, there is a booth with one kind of old guy passed out drunk head on the table. If you'd like to go there or the hostess, your choice.
Yeah, he'll go to that guy at the table.
All right, you walk over. He's just snoring, drool, hands still on his cask.
Therathari's gonna nudge him, see if he wakes up.
He'll like squint at you. It's like this older gentleman. He is half orc. I don't know if you've seen many half orcs before. He's got very short tusks, old face, wrinkled, scarred. He's got a piercing on his the side of his lower lip. He looks up. I'm sitting here. What do you want?
One might call it sleeping, not sitting, but
He'll
if I would, I'd ask for the table.
5 gold. 6.
I'll do it for 3.
Oh, I like that move.
Make a persuasion check with advantage because he's pissed drunk.
9.
Deal. Hand it over.
Hand it over.
He pockets it. He gets up from the booth, leaves his puddle of whatever is there and his drink, and stumbles his way forward. Someone like catches him, throws him forward, and he's like heading towards the bar again.
All right. Therathari will signal for either the hostess or someone from the bar.
There's
Hopefully
waitresses,
clean the
and,
table.
yeah, running
Waitress,
around.
yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Sure, he'll come over, kind of give you a smile, and wipe the table. Can I get you anything to eat? You looking for some sustenance or waiting on somebody?
Yeah, I am waiting.
Would you like to order now, or you gonna wait?
We'll wait and see. I'm not sure what she had in mind.
All right, well, I'll be running around. Just stop me if you need.
Will do. So he'll sit down and keep an eye in the direction of the front door.
All right. Make a perception check. And actually, I'm sorry. Make a Constitution save.
Okay. That is
Not disadvantage. The save.
a 14.
Okay. You are beginning to feel the effects of the alcohol. You got that kind of warm sensation in your body, like warm, like blood's flowing around. Little bit, a little bit looser, kind of going with the flow a little more. Not drunk, tipsy. Maybe right where you want to be. Who knows? You're not at the point where if you're drunk, I give you advantage on charisma. Basically disadvantage on anything else, but advantage on charisma, which in your state is probably worth it because you get disadvantage anyway. But
Right.
so if you choose to keep going, this is kind of your point where if you continue to drink, you will get drunk. So that's your
Okay. The goal is to maintain the buzz.
okay. Yeah. You can definitely do that. I imagine Therathari doesn't drink much, so maybe this is
No, not much.
yeah, that's good. He's a cheap drinker. It's like my girlfriend. Takes like one glass of wine.
Mm.
Perfect. I don't have to spend $50 on alcohol at a restaurant. All right. So after maybe 20 minutes of waiting, you start to get a little antsy, but a hand falls on your shoulder, and you see standing up and while you're in the booth, a very beautifully dressed. She's not wearing a dress. She's wearing a leather jacket, like tight leather pants. She has a nice, kind of blouse kind of shirt going on. Nice, beautiful necklace that hangs kind of low. Looks like a locket of some kind. She has her hair pulled back behind her ears. Not like a ponytail, but like a fishtail braid. Looks like she's applied some makeup. You made it.
I'm afraid I started without you.
No worries, no worries. I'm surprised you got a seat. That's this place. Quite impressive.
Well, I guess I just stumbled into it.
Well, I'm sorry for being a bit late. I hope you don't mind.
I did get to see some of the town on the way.
And she'll take a seat, not next to you, but across from you. So kind of fold her arms back. Now that she's kind of in the light of your table, she looks very beautiful. More so than she did earlier. Earlier was kind of her casual look. She's dressed up in her own kind of way. You can kind of tell by her style, it's noble, but like not too far. It kind of reminds you in some sense of Tenley's style, but maybe a little pulled back from that. A little more, I don't want to say girlish, but a little more like traditional in that sense. Tenley very much pushed the envelope. But yeah, she looks great. And she says, well, how are the drinks? Good?
Doing well for me. Are you going to get anything?
Definitely. What did you order? Anything specific?
Maybe you could tell me. I don't drink much. And he offers.
She'll give it a smell, bring it up to the light. Gosh. Too strong for me. She-
Well, what do you have then? And he'll signal for a waitress.
I'll take martini. She'll nod. And
What?
martini. Martinis exist. They exist.
But martinis are strong as hell. She goes, that martinis are literally like
But
alcohol with alcohol.
Yeah, she said, "Damn, that's too strong.
but
That's
it's
strong enough for me."
I would argue that like mixing dark liquor, that's worse than mixing clear. You know? It's fair, you're fair. It's fair to say that it is strong. But I don't
She
know.
said, "Call an ambulance, but not for me."
yeah. Maybe not. Yeah, whatever. You got me.
All right. Well,
okay.
Therathari doesn't know any better. So.
Maybe she's trying to, increase the bravado of Therathari.
That was Dan reacting, not.
No. Jara from the bedroom.
Yeah, totally. Wait, what?
Dreams of martinis. A martini sea. But yeah, she'll get the martini. She says, well, I'm sure you're aware, I wasn't, but there's a curfew, 12, but I have pulled some strings, and I talked to the owner, and they should stay open for us a little later. Not sure it'd be private, but I was a little bit rash in assuming things would stay open later, but we have some assurances.
I had figured you had a plan for the evening.
Well,
Given short notice, though, I must admit you made an impression on me as well.
good one, I hope.
We'll see.
Fair enough. Well,
He grins a bit.
she
He's happy with that response.
that was a good one. She grins as well. So, what business do you have here? You never quite got into it. If I may insist.
You didn't invite me out to talk business, did you?
Just making small talk, really. What would you prefer? Back home, shall we reminisce the days of Ravencleft, the cold air, brisk winter nights, sweet smell of... And she leans in and smells you. Nice touch.
Got it.
Yes, well, let's just say I have a friend who's good with fragrance.
From Ravencleft.
From somewhere, not Ravenclift.
Right. Not many of us Ravencleft fellows from down this way. I imagine we might be the only two who dare to venture out of those walls.
Yes, and I'll be venturing even further.
Ah. South?
South indeed. I don't know how, but we're to make it through the spies in the next weeks.
Well, it was nice knowing you, really. Rather nice. I'm kidding. You'll be fine. You say you have friends, and you've made it this far. What's a little bit more?
Friends and some magical artifacts should get us on our way.
And, the spires? I mean, that's quite south for a northern fellow like you.
Yes, well, we do have business.
To business. She'll raise her glass. Cheers you.
To business. Look, would you like to try the dance floor?
Thought
Shit,
you'd-
get it.
Thought you'd never ask. And she says, not familiar with the dance down here, but I guess we'll just go with the flow.
That's what this is for. And he raises his glass.
She
I'd like to
down-
put in a request for the musician.
Yeah, go ahead.
Could we get Careless Whisper?
Okay, let's go.
An instrumental's probably fine, but can we throw Careless Whisper on here?
All right, let me get it. I don't know if it plays YouTube videos. If you find me a Spotify link of like a karaoke version and send it, I'll play it.
Oh, word.
I'll absolutely play it. She downs her glass, puts it on the table, gets another one, and like, heads to you, with you to the dance floor. Make an insight check.
Oh my god, the rolls tonight are pitiful. 10.
Okay, a 10 is pretty, like, you know, run of the mill. I mean, you don't know her too intimately, but you do know for the first time, her hardened exterior has been penetrated just a little bit by your charisma so far, and you can tell that she's a little nervous, actually. From a girl like this, that seems like not a very common happenstance to find herself nervous. You've put her on her heels. Or toes.
I guess either one makes sense, yeah.
Knocked her off balance.
Yeah, exactly.
Emotionally. Nevertheless, you interlock arms. I have been given... Sec. Thank you, Paul. As you step on the dance floor, a sudden shift in the music.
Let's hope.
Oh, yes.
This VOD is definitely getting copyright claim, but that's okay. The music shifts to a romantic note, perhaps coincidentally, although Therathari knows coincidences don't happen too often. Nevertheless, you are ushered to the dance floor for a slower song. What do you do, Therathari?
He's gonna twirl the ring on his hand
Okay.
awkwardly and say, well, I don't really know what I'm doing here, but here we go to good company. He'll take another drink and put his glass down.
Okay. So you have I'll give you the choice since you downed it. Do you want to be drunk? And if so, you will gain advantage on all charisma based checks.
I think we should leave it to the dice gods.
Roll the dice.
All right, you call it out and you roll it.
Let's just do Constitution, the save of your choice.
Okay, so the
DM.
DC usually for you got a strong drink in particular, and you've been drinking for a little while.
Mhm.
So if you have to beat a 16.
Okay. It is a 10.
All right, Therathari. The warmness takes your body further, and you begin to not get the loopies, but you are definitely drunk. Not the drunkest you've ever been, but drunk.
Okay, so Therathari, with maybe false confidence, takes the lead, and he has sweeping movements. His arms are going low and then up high,
Very
and
nice.
his strides are long.
All right, make a performance check.
Performance. Oh wait, I don't have disadvantage on charisma.
You have advantage.
I have
that-
advantage.
Well,
Okay, so
that will
so it evens
cancel.
out.
Yes, so
Evens
you have
out.
a flat
Okay,
roll.
okay. That is then a 14.
14's pretty good. You know, you picked it up. The soothing saxophone that's playing. You dance to the rhythm better than you might have expected from yourself. I don't know if it's the alcohol or if you have this inner bard maybe that's coming out here. Who knows?
Shit.
However, she's surprised and taken in your arms as you dance. Do you care to make any small talk while dancing?
Therathari will say, "Have you seen a dwarf on the dance floor?"
No. Should I be worried about one?
Well, you wouldn't want to trip.
You take actually you look over your you look to your right and towards the center of the dance floor, and you see this dwarf wrapped around this this half orc woman like at the
Oh.
hips, and he looks at you and kind of gives you a nod. He's like he kind of gives you,
Yeah,
Nice.
buddy.
and she's like holding his head as he's like dancing with her. She-
Forgive me. A friend of mine is. I make short jokes about him all the time. It just came out.
Oh, don't worry. Look, if we can't laugh at things in life, it'd be a pretty dull one.
I would drink to that if I had any left.
She'll. I don't know. Would she have any left? Let's see. Is she drunk? Let's see. The dice, the rolls. Beat a 16. She got a natural 20, so she's not drunk. She'll stay buzzed. However, after some time passes and you dance to the soothing sounds, she'll say, "You know, I must admit, I was a bit curious about your upbringing in Ravencleft. You seem to be, well, a cut against the cloth. Not like from most people back home. Am I safe in that assumption?"
Well, I am of two kinds, elf and human.
That in and of itself is also quite curious. Which was which, if you don't mind?
My elven father.
I see. And you mentioned they were merchants.
Well, my father was. My mother, well, she worked a tavern not too dissimilar from this one.
Sorry, I'm getting.
And they met he on the road, she working as she would.
And what was the name of this shop? Maybe I've frequented it, or maybe I've heard of it.
I'm not sure you would have.
Humor me. You never know. After all, I may be noble, but I like to think I'm a little bit grounded. This is not the song I wanted.
Killing the mood.
Yeah, really. Someone died on the floor. Was
Yeah.
The
The
dwarf.
dwarf got stepped on. No one. No one took Therathari's joke seriously.
Well, I'm afraid I won't be sharing that with you tonight. Perhaps when we get to know each other a little better.
Do you have plans for that?
No, I'm afraid the best of memories haven't been made there.
I see.
In any case, I do trust that you have found this town welcoming.
You could say that.
He's trying to deflect a little bit.
Of course. She notices, but she doesn't press. She says, I suppose some people here are a bit touchy-feely. I'm trying to find a tavern playlist. I don't think I have one for Spotify. Sorry, this is really killing the RP. I just want to make sure I have... I don't know where I have it. Wait. Yeah. All right. Paul, do you mind finding me a playlist? While I look at this. You seem to be the music man.
Word.
Appreciate it. Sorry. Anyway,
What are you
she's-
looking for? Just general tavern?
yeah, like happy, dancey kind of music. I don't have one, I apparently, for Spotify. She says, fuck, what was the last thing I said? I completely forgot.
Therathari deflected to
Right. Got it.
the town. Yeah.
Well, people here are a little bit curious when it comes to business. I have made my way to the Magistari today and was met with some interesting conversation there, but we'll see. Should take a little bit more palm greasing than I had hoped. There seems to be some people here who are unwilling to change. More so than home.
But I haven't noticed some changes in the environment. At least there are these holes and, well, yeah, I suppose a sinkhole. Is this a mining area? Is that right?
Primarily, yes. That's part of the reason why I even came here. Apparently, there's a promise of riches, and riches are my father's favorite. Haven't found
Can't
much
imagine
of anything.
anyone. Can't imagine getting too rich if you've, well, fallen down a hole. I imagine it swallowing part of the town even. That seems dangerous.
Yes, this is something I've been assured is being taken care of. It's one of the main things the Magistari decided to tell me. They're on it, they say. They know what's the problem. They're fixing it. And business here, well, it's the safest bet you can make.
I've had some experiences with authorities who, well, obfuscate the severity of things.
It seems to be the way the South works here. Not as headstrong and pious as they may claim to be, if you know what I mean.
Of course I do. The same in Tura.
It seems the fringes are the ones holding what remains of Tura together.
Consider me a fringe, then.
I have friends as well who would consider themselves fringes as well, but nevertheless, we'll see what this city has to offer me. It'll be a lot duller when you leave, that's for sure.
Oh, I can't help but feel like I've been an awful date. You keep trying to get close to me, and I can't let you in despite my. And he does a flourish.
Ooh, all right, make it a performance check. Let's go.
Hit him with it.
If you fail, she's
Uh,
falling. No, I'm kidding. But depends on how
It
bad
is-
you fail.
You said what? Performance?
Yep, performance.
A 10.
Okay. It's not your best. You're a little clumsy with the steps because you're a little bit drunk, but it's
Well, he was
grace.
hoping to show that he was feeling the alcohol.
Fair. Then this might have played into your hand
out.
a little
Yeah.
bit better than even you may have thought. There's a moment where you have to like catch her from falling a little bit, but it's saved and it looks good. And you bring her back up and look over, and the dwarf's like, nice, looking at you. He's your wingman, kinda. Not your wingman, but he's rooting for you. As you bring her in, the music swells. The night is starting to grow later. People are starting to funnel out. The dance floor is thinning as you guys still dance. But she'll continue to say, well, any plans to travel home? See your parents?
I wish it were that simple.
Judging by that answer, there's more to that story than I think is my business.
Well, isn't that the truth? I've been so reluctant to share with anyone that it feels like I don't even know the place anymore.
Well, I can tell you, in my own experience, there's not a lot redeemable about Ravencleft anymore. In fact, I think people like my father are the reason it's fallen.
Passion for industry and not much else.
Yes, a one-track mind.
And perhaps that is what led me out of there. There's so many interests in this world. How can we explore any of them?
Well, we can't, unless we take the leap. Maybe one day I will too. I always wanted to go to Shikumo. My father does business there, but I'm not allowed on these trips.
Arathari gives her a wide-eyed stare at the mention of Shikumo.
Oh, you want to go as well? Not quite a popular tourist spot, but you've surprised me before.
He starts fumbling now. He yeah, Shikumo. I'm sure it's lovely. What sort of business is there for your father?
He does things with the Emperor. At least the Emperor's chamber. I imagine that part of the business is above even me. You could tell she's drunk now. But she says, I don't know, I hear him talking with business partners of traveling there occasionally, once in a long while, but the last time he went was maybe 4 years ago. I think he's planning a trip soon, but I only know what I overhear. I'm not in the business yet. Part of this mission is to get me there. A place I don't even know if I want to be. I was thinking maybe I would just fake it, and then once I make it to Shikumo, run away.
And where would you go? Is it
Wherever the
it's
wind
on
takes
the border
me.
of... well, I'm not sure which direction the wind blows in from there, but surely the mountains are a nice enough place. Look, I don't know why I can't get this Shikumo out of my head. Maybe it's the alcohol talking.
I don't know. Are you trying to tell me something, Therathari?
Am I? He stammers off towards the main building.
Without her? Like just leaving her on the floor?
He does it slowly, see if she's following.
She's
He's just
interested.
kind
She
of-
wants to know what the
He's
hell.
kind of stumbling around, trying not to give in to his drunkenness.
Okay, make another con save.
I don't think I ever rolled higher than a natural 10 tonight. Disadvantage, right? Or no, it's a save. Yeah, so just 6.
Okay, yeah. It's getting harder and harder to resist. You may have had a little more than you anticipated. Nevertheless, you stumble into a mostly empty dining room. She's shortly on your tails, and she kind of says, "Slow down, please. Where are you going? Is this something I said?"
No, no, not at all. I'm greatly enjoying your company. What do you say we take a stroll in the town?
I suppose that's fine. Yeah, sure.
Therathari gets kidnapped now.
The Magistari.
Yeah, by the
What-
Magistari again.
Where would you like to go? I don't know this place.
I'll show you around then. So he's gonna lead her, I guess, the reverse path that he took to get to the dance
Alright.
hall.
It is after curfew. How are you
Yeah, he's
doing
aware.
this? Do you care?
He. Okay, so. Good point.
You are drunk.
All
It
right.
is
So
after
so
curfew.
he'll say, look, it's after curfew. I'm sure we can figure it out if the guards stop us, right? Come with me.
Of course. Should like try and get herself together. All right, so you're going.
This is all. This is how Therathari's managed to stop talking about Shikumo. He's just. He's just walking. That's the only thing his brain can do.
Okay, where are you leading? Why don't you draw it out for me?
Sure. Pen. There we go. Ooh, let's do the line actually. This way.
Okay. She'll as you're walking forward, she'll say, "You know, if I didn't know any better, and this may be the alcohol speaking too, I would think you're hiding something from me, Therathari."
And what would that be? I feel like there's look, I have plenty of things to talk about. It's not just Shikumo.
Oh, I understand that, but your reaction to when I brought it up, it was quite fascinating. I don't meet many people who even know Shikumo is a place to be desired. They just
Well, neither did I before.
before what?
Well, look, we have business, okay? I don't love the business, but we have it.
I understand. Well, if it makes you feel better, I can tell you my business in Shikumo.
Yes, you mentioned your father, of course. He trades there. Or...
It's a little bit more complicated. Shikumo is closed. There's a little bit of political maneuvering that needs to be done. Particularly, my father is in the business of trading valuables from Shikumo. Not your typical value.
Plenty of things of value there, I am assured. As is our purview.
She'll pull from her pocket a small, almost looks like a marble, but this may be the size of like a jawbreaker. And it's this like fossilized, almost like scaly egg shape. You know what this is?
No, I don't believe I do. What is it?
Hold it. It won't bite.
Okay, he'll take it.
My father always told me this is something he brought back from Shikumo. And in Shikumo, things are different, but he always told me these stories of these winged creatures. Breathe fire, acid, death. They flew from the mountains, pillaged villages, took livestock, until the brave emperors in his chamber tamed them and made them arms of the government. Dragons. I'm sure you've heard the name. Very common. At this point, it's a wives' tale, but I was told, and I believe, Therathari. And she like cups your hand while holding the stone. I believe they were real, and they still exist. And I will find them. I will find them. And she says,
Why are you telling me this?
Because I don't know. I haven't told anyone. Nobody knows. And you seem, I don't know, I'm drunk. But
Well, so am I. And look, I haven't told anyone either. We're on a mission to the Guanji Mountains, where we hope to uncover mysteries for the archive.
you're kidding, right? Spy, kind of?
Come again?
Are you a spy? Is that what you're doing?
What? No. That we have contacts.
You're serious?
If I could believe your dragons, then you should believe this. We've had about as much to drink.
Guanji Mountains. That's suspiciously close to Shikumo. Maybe you'll
Yes,
live
well,
my dream before I can.
Well, it's not a dream, I suppose, unless it's worth striving for. So
Well,
we'll
look,
get there someday.
I don't know when I will, but I know you. Sounds like you'll make it there soon. You can keep that. And if you find dragons, you need to find me. I need to know.
What in life is there worth knowing that isn't worth wondering about? If you do find it, what then?
I don't know. Publish it. Uncover the secrets of Shikumo and why they've been reclusive all this time. I don't know. Look, I was a girl and dreaming to adventure the world. Ravencleft is comfortable and uppity. Heck, even leaving the walls to go in the woods was like treason. Dragon.
You don't need the approval of anyone.
No, but here I am working for my father in this place.
If I had still been working for my father, we would never have met.
Well, if I hadn't been working for him, we wouldn't have met either, but anyway, just promise me that if you do find what you're looking for, maybe you have time for a secondary search until I can make it there too.
I don't even know where to look. But I suppose I will.
All right, is there anything you want to talk about with Harley? Anything else?
Let me gauge Therathari's like how much he would divulge given his drunken state. Give me a sec.
Sure.
Okay. So he'll say, Carly, look, I'd like to see you again, but after I wake up tomorrow, we'll be on the way.
Yeah, that's how these things go, I suppose.
Can we at least set a time or a place?
What did you have in mind?
Well, how familiar are you with Tura?
Quite a bit. Studied maps as a child.
Okay. I have some friends there, and I they are quite hospitable. I would think, let's say, meet in Tura in 2 months' time.
big city, the capital. Where shall I meet you?
I have just the spot. You can't miss it. And he'll give her the name of Q's shop, which I'm forgetting.
Oh, good question.
It's been a while.
Like it.
Also, is 2 months' time about right?
Yeah, that's about right.
All right.
I think it's the vulnerable vagrant. Let me see.
No, the invulnerable vagrant is Pumat Soul's place.
Yes, correct. Where is? I gotta find it. That's how long it's been. I don't even remember.
Yeah, probably like 3
The
or 4
Velvet
months. There you
Yes. Tony,
There we go.
Velvet Vow. I just pulled it up. Yep. Velvet Vow. All right, Therathari. Well, thank you for this night. I won't soon forget. This was a pleasure. And hopefully next time we see each other, I won't be working for my father anymore.
go. Here's to that.
Right. Anything else you want to do before you you split off in the Feldpost then?
That would be all, I think.
All right. Now,
Yeah.
unfortunately for you, Therathari, staying out late and drinking, you have incurred one more point of exhaustion.
Yeah, well,
So now-
hopefully the party is okay leaving late.
Yeah, so you're at 2. If you sleep it off, you'll be at 1. But with that, Therathari stumbles in the door to your room, Felix, at an obnoxious time in the morning, smelling of alcohol, faint bit of gooseberry, and smiling ear to ear.
How did it go, my friend?
I'm surprised you're still up.
Well, you weren't the quietest upon entry. I can tell that you've had a few.
Say no more. Yes. Look, it was a good time. He stumbles toward the bed. Perhaps I should tell you more in the morning.
Yeah, tell us all when we're all up.
Okay.
Good
Very
night,
good.
pal.
The last.
He knocks out.
Yes. So you all can take your long rest.
Woo.
You do that now.
Cool,
Do it. You should do it in
yeah.
D&D Beyond so that it's reflective for when you move over to the new system.
So, Iris just got out of a long rest. I don't think I
Yes.
can take 2 long rests in the
I mean,
same
you
24-hour
technically
time span.
can, but it wouldn't do anything for you.
Okay.
So you might as well to even out your timeline with everyone else so that you you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like she'll still sleep. It's just like functionally, I need to figure out whether or not spells are being restored or health or whatever.
Yeah. You took a long rest, so this wouldn't apply for you.
Okay, I'm gonna call it a short rest
Sure.
technically.
Yeah, you could totally do
because
that.
I need to get some hit points
Yeah,
back.
absolutely. Yeah. Okay. The only other thing I wanted to say in session. So Tom, you can have a D6 for the next time we play. You did an excellent job role playing tonight. I wanted to reward that. So that's a permanent for as long as you want to keep it. So congratulations. I will say the last thing is Jara.
Yeah.
You check one more time before going to bed. Your slip. Sigh of relief. It's going to be delivered in the morning. Happy. But an uneasy feeling takes you. Perhaps what's the word I'm looking for? Perhaps it's fate or what, but something feels off. And we'll close that. Oh, and Felix,
Yes.
your medallion.
Oh, thank God. I thought it was broken.
Oh.
Your medallion doesn't go off, but you feel. Oh, let me rephrase. Your medallion does go off. However, it goes off and it tells you that it's not extremely close, the threat, but it is looming.
Oh,
ha-
that's
Much to think about next session.
They have your scent, Felix.
they have my scent. Oh no.
The medallion. So the way the medallion works is the brighter it glows, the closer they are. And in this dark room, under the covers, Therathari's snoring, you see faint glow of your medallion. And the thoughts of your past and the demons that are after you maybe spoils your night a little bit, but you're able to sleep nonetheless.
All right.
A lot to think about. All right. That's it, folks. This is a very interesting session. Thank you for bearing with me. Took a lot of turns and twists. Sarah had a
We're
first
gonna-
date.
We're gonna have a
Hopefully
lot
there's a
to.
second.
Yeah, hopefully there's a second.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that was really, really tough.
Hopefully in a good way.
Well, like, yeah, it's hard to be that character.
Yeah.
That is all.
Tom is just naturally smooth and gets all the ladies in real life, so it's really hard for him to be opposite.
You know what? That was the smoothest Therathari I think has ever been. Very smooth.
I loved it.
Very smooth. Perhaps there's
It's
a
almost
little bit
smooth
of
on accident.
My man's sliding into those DMs.
perhaps there's the Bard is making his way out in Therathari. There's a little bit of a bachelor in there somewhere. You know, someone, a ladies' man. Who knows?
I mean, there may be songs written next level for Therathari.
Fair enough. I will say also, Tom, add to your inventory so we don't lose track. You have a stone statue of a dragon egg. Very small,
Okay.
like a stone, very small stone carving. All right. So I'll send out the bot for next week, and then I'll start the Roll20 thing up and invite you guys. So I'll probably hit you up this week about that. And
Sounds
then, you know, move over when you can. I'd like to get off D&D Beyond as soon as possible. But if you can't do it this week, that's fine. Just do it over time. I know you have a lot to port over. So, all right.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you, folks.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Sounds good.
Enjoy the week.